Welcome to another episode of the Online Prosperity Experience podcast. You're about to hear your host, Prosper Taravinga's powerful digital marketing strategies and actionable tactics that you can use right now. Prosper has helped more than 50,000 people from over 10 countries to create meaningful businesses that are profitable and enjoyable. Listen to this podcast so that you too can build your own business with less stress and overwhelm. Let's get started.
How to see fast results with your coaching marketing. Now, if you're a coach or maybe a consultant that's creating a business that's profitable and enjoyable, and you're passionate about doing the work that you're meant to be doing and living an inspired life while you're doing so, you're in the right place, my friend. My name is Prosper Taravinga, and my mission is to help coaches and consultants like you to build a brand that you're proud of and create a lifestyle that you love. So technically, I help coaches and online service providers to create a consistent stream of leads for their business using content marketing and SEO. And if you're looking for help to plan your content and create a strong strategy to generate leads from your website and for your business, we should definitely connect. And today we're going to be talking about why your coaching marketing is not working. And I'm going to leave you with 3 things that will actually lend you a sell today. All right, so buckle up. This is the podcast you've been waiting for, and hoping that you, as an internet explorer, would actually have the right kind of information for you to create for and relate to the audience you're going to be demanding money off of. Especially today, like I promised, you will actually land a sale today if you listen and actually take action and implement one of the things that I'm going to be telling you today. All right. So you've probably been binge watching hours and hours of YouTube videos and clicking on every Facebook ad, or, watching every TikTok phase or fade, that has come your way, or any Instagram reels that promises to give you whatever marketing tips that are out there, or whatever amazing coaching strategies or bullet tips that are actually gonna instantly work, or whatever magic bullet shiny object strategy that you have seen. I mean, why not? It's there and it's tempting and it's clickbait. All right. And you might also have already spent half a fortune on amazing courses. I know I have. When I first started, up until I realized that half of the courses out there, it's usually somebody who just has read a book and they just write it all, put context around it and present it as a course for themselves. And then I took it upon myself to read whatever book I can, if I can get the time to do so. All right. So you probably spent half a, fortune on these courses where you are thrown into a group with 50 other coaches and consultants. You're overwhelmed with whatever content that doesn't still work for you. A lot of tire spinning courses are out there, and you've got a lot of ebooks and all the works that they've given you sitting on your hard drive gathering digital dust. Half of it is your fault anyway, because you haven't taken the time to maybe implement what the person was saying, or most of the information is just regurgitated anyway. And I understand it's not your fault. So it might be apt for you to then ask, do you still believe that there's actually a solution that would actually work for you out there? Well, I've got one thing that I can tell you right now. You see, I'm really passionate about helping coaches. You know why? Because I know what it's like to start from nothing. All right. I'm really passionate about helping coaches and consultants and some small to medium business owners grow their business, because I know what it's like to come from nothing. You see, I was born in a small town in Zimbabwe, in Africa. I don't know if you know that already, but for me growing up, life was pretty tough. I didn't have a lot of money like what my kids now have, and I didn't even have any hope or, to amount to anything, because there were no role models around us. And, my sort of luck changed when a bright-eyed Australian teacher came to work at my school, and she literally changed my perspective and literally told me all about Australia and the incredible opportunities that were on offer. And I also learned something without her teaching me, that you can be, do, and have, and travel the world, see places, doing what you absolutely love. Okay. And I was taught by this teacher, that there was a whole other world outside of my small little town that I thought was all there was. And it's a world of infinite possibilities for people who actually dream big and had the courage to follow their dreams. And I suppose you are waiting for that to happen in your life. You already have the work you've done. You've already done the work on yourself. You've already put work together for building a coaching business, but you can't seem to make it work. You can't seem to be marketing it in order for you to generate leads. You can't seem to be hitting the mark with your message. You can't seem to be able to actually earn trust before the sales process begins. And you know what? You're absolutely right. There has been a lot of people that, showed up in your news feed, purporting to give you all the magic bullets or whatever strategies that have worked on them, but it doesn't seem to be working on you. And I'm here to tell you, that's fine. You obviously were trying your luck, but now you've found, somebody who can actually help you. And I'm not going to take that lightly, because promises like this will always, end people up in a lot of hot water. So I'm going to be, trying to live up to my promise and to actually deliver upon it. All right. So obviously, if you've given up that there's no solution that will actually work for you, I hope you still have a little bit of hope left there. You know what I mean? Because I can assure you there really is a solution out there. And I'm gonna break down a few things that you can actually do to start seeing results from your coach marketing in the short term. And also I'll be dispelling a few myths so that you can actually start having a bit of hope to see that you can create a business that's profitable and enjoyable. And it's not going to be something that you are going to have to, mine under under a rock or something like that. It's something that is actually on the surface. And if you do it well, you, my friend, will also be celebrating having a business that's profitable and enjoyable. One thing that's actually happening is I think you're trying to sell the wrong thing. That's it. People are out there. And let me tell you something. People are buying stuff. Go to the supermarket right now. People are buying bread. People are buying pet food. People are buying whatever it is that they want. If you show up in front of people with something that they are willing and able and want to buy, somebody will raise up their hand and say, yes, I'm the one for it. Okay. Whether you're new to coaching or not, you might have fallen into the trap of either having too many packages or simply the wrong ones. Okay. The first and most important step that you want to take is to make sure that you don't have an overwhelming number of options for your clients. When people are presented with so much information, guess what happens? They develop what's called inertia. And when they have analysis paralysis, they usually don't take any action. So you might actually be throwing a lot of things in front of them and they get overwhelmed and they don't want to engage. Remember, people now have a 3-second attention span, and if you don't get their attention based on the solution to the problems that they have, then automatically they're not going to listen. No matter how good you are, no matter how nice of a person you are, you're probably just selling the wrong thing to the wrong people at the wrong time. And remember, these people are coming to you for advice, okay? They don't want to leave with more questions, okay? Can you imagine, have you ever gone to meet somebody and you just really wanted to ask them about maybe buying a car or buying a computer, and you walk out of the shop thinking, wait a minute, do I need a cloud server in order to just have a computer in my house? Because you're adding a lot of stuff that we think is going to impress our clients, but it doesn't work like that, okay? You walk in, to buy an electric vehicle, and then the person starts telling you about Apple Connect. Yes, of course, it's part of the features, right? And then they think, oh, I've got an Android, so guess what? This car is not going to be compatible to the phone that I have. And not knowing that the more we give so much information to our clients, we automatically are now selling the wrong thing to them, because at the end of the day, our clients are just looking for belonging. Our clients are just looking for connection. Our clients are just looking for peace of mind. Our clients are just looking for status. Our clients are looking to be valued. Are you actually showing up to them and being the right kind of person with the right kind of solution for the problems that they have? So when people jump onto a discovery call with you and or maybe visit your website after meeting with you, don't present them with all this myriad of options. You know what I mean? 2 to 3 are more than enough on your website. Yes, I might be guilty for showing up with so many of these options, but you know how I actually then sell everything that's on my website? I'm doing it right now through the podcast. Some people want to put everything on their website and hope the client is going to make the decision on their own. No, people still want to talk to you. People still want to be assured. People still want to know that they're not making a mistake. You know what you and I get paid for? We get paid for somebody to actually point a finger at us. If they can't see you, if they can't believe you, how are they going to be able to point a finger at you when you're not showing them what enemies to throw rocks at? You have to be there to help them justify their failures. Do you notice what I'm doing right now? I told you that, yes, you haven't been doing it wrong. You just haven't been doing it right. And I'm justifying the failures that you've had before. Now you can understand, hey, guess what? This guy came from Africa and he figured out how to actually communicate with people that are not in his culture, people that are not in his small town, and actually create for and relate to all of those people. And guess where I'm at right now? All right. So you want to make it easy for people to buy from you. So if you're on a call, okay, just offer them one, the one thing that is a great fit for whatever it is that they're going through right now. That's why you have to have an intricate understanding of your audience, because if you don't know what it is that they want and what solution they're looking for right now, you're not going to be able to talk to them in a way that they understand. And if you understand what your people are out there, you would know what it is that you want your target market to ask you to do for them. So I keep repeating this. Are you trying to sell the wrong thing? Now you notice, okay, yes, you might be marketing everything, TikToking all over the place, but are you selling the right thing to the right people at the right time at the right price? Okay, so if you have trouble understanding what your clients really need, that's what you need to work on. You want to forget using all this formal discovery sales scripts. Your goal should be to get better at asking the right questions so that you can actually learn about what the people who you're jumping on your discovery calls need from you. What do they want you to do for them? When you understand that, it'll be easy for you to then reach out to them and talk to them through your marketing, through your social media, everything else that, brings your message to these people, okay? And if you understand one thing, people are just looking for solutions that will make them happier, richer, thinner, wealthier, and better looking than other people out there. So what is it about your health, your wealth, and your relationship coaching will actually help them achieve those seemingly surface things? And then once they're in, you've actually gotten what it is they want, then you can actually start talking about your NLP. You can now start talking about whatever methodologies that you can actually get results for them. And if you notice something about there's different topics around digital marketing, but at the end of the day, what people just want is to find prospects and increase, awareness of their business. And then once they've found those people, they want to turn those prospects into leads who buy from them, and then eventually just retain those customers and turn them into fans. There's only 3 stages in any marketing journey, but I have almost 300 episodes talking about the same thing, but in a different light, because I know what people want to buy. People just want to buy a business that's profitable, and they want to enjoy themselves doing it. That's all there is. But you need to really find out how do they define the problem that brings them to you? And then you can create content that will then lure them into wanting to work with you. You know why? Because you've done the homework. You've actually taken the time to, really find out how you can help them. And you can only do that by actually helping them. Now, I hope we're only into one thing, and I can notice we're already 14 minutes in there. I think I've already delivered on my promise. The reason why you're not actually marketing well and getting results from your marketing is because maybe you're just following what the majority is doing, and you're trying to sell the wrong thing. All right? Because when you get this feedback from your clients, when you actually talk to them and ask them, how can I actually help you? This feedback will actually be important for you to learn how to then fine tune and customize your programs. There's no magic bullet. You have to speak to as many people as possible. And once you do that, you start to know your audience. And that's another thing, the reason why a lot of people are not successful with their marketing. You don't quite know the audience that you're trying to reach out to, because if you don't know the audience, then you don't know what to write for them, how to do a podcast for them, what webinars to put out there, how to deliver any speaking engagement for that audience. All right? And if you don't know that, then you're just spraying and praying with your marketing. You don't know the language that your audience is actually speaking and what language drives them to take action. Ndikatanga kutaura chirudzi chausinganzwa ungandinzwa here zvinezvi handipapapa urotoshamisa kuti kumfeso yakutaura kuti chief. Don't touch your podcast player. I was actually talking to you in my own language just to illustrate a point. That if you don't know your audience, you're going to be talking to them in a language that makes sense to you, but you're not communicating anything to them. You're talking, but you're not communicating. And it's quite an obvious problem, but a lot of people try to mask it with, I'll go and do a client avatar or things of that nature, and they tick a box and think they've already done it. If you don't know your audience, or even if you've been, in business for a while, you might actually start disconnecting between your offer, and the actual audience that you're reaching out to, because there's what's called the hierarchy of needs. Not everyone is going to be at the same stage in life for the rest of their life. So are you still going back and finding out if your message still resonates? Because some people that you might be talking to have maybe skipped the stage that you're speaking to them at. Now they no longer listen to the marketing. They were before, but now they're not. So if you understand and know what the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is, then you would know at what stage do I need to be speaking to people about certain things. Because if they're just in a stage where they're literally looking for shelter, for air, for water, for their psychological needs, then some programs and some tools would definitely be of help to them. But if they're in the self-actualizing stage, then where they desire to become the most that they can be, then certain things about their health, their wealth, and whoever they're becoming, they want to be more, have more, and become more. So is your message still resonating? Are you still speaking to the right kind of person with the right kind of pain? There always is a disconnect every 3 months. Find out, have people moved from the one stage of the hierarchy of needs to another stage? You feel hesitation when talking about who you help and why. Sometimes because it's a moving target. Even after being trained or coached, or you have been in business for a while, you keep feeling lost. You know why? Because it's never one thing. It's never one person. It's never one Sally who's 13 years old, who's 30 years old. I hope you're not selling to 13-year-old people, but who's 30 years old, and is a teacher or whatever demographics that you have. This can actually be a chicken and egg situation. Because people grow, people die, people move on with their lives. Are they still in the same predicament? Let's say you're a divorce coach, right? People can only stay divorced for a certain amount of time. And then they get into relationships, and then they are no longer part of your demographic. Either you were too late or you're too quick to the table, and that's the reason why your marketing is not resonating. So start by finding the biggest struggle that you resolve and match it with the kind of person who will be the most in urgent need of that product. Let's say you're a life coach, helping people deal with stress and learning maybe meditation or mediation. Think about the different kinds of people that might need you. Maybe it's a new mom, people in high stress jobs, new managers, CEOs, people with high anxiety and chronic illnesses. If it's a new mom, she's only a new mom for 3 months. After that, she's now has a routine around her baby. She now has a routine around her family, and now she's all coordinated. She might not need your services anymore. So you want to think which ones have the fastest urgency, which ones have the money to pay you, are willing and able to pay for the service, because that's also another factor. Somebody might need your services, but do they afford you? And which one do you have a chance of seeing great results from your coaching? A CEO will be able to pay you, but if it's a problem that only lasts for a month, you only have a window to get their attention and actually get them to buy from you before they move on and go to the next challenge that they might have. So you always want to refine what you're offering, And one way of you actually being in tune with what your clients are going through right now is, this trick has saved me so much in my life. What are you actually embarrassed with right now? Or what are you struggling with yourself as a coach? And what are you doing about it? 9 times out of 10, you will have people that are actually going through the same things. And you can now go along and create for and relate to the people that are in that particular situation. That will be the easiest marketing that you can do for yourself. Right now, my team is growing. I've had communication issues, and I've brought in experts, and I've brought in people that I'm talking to. I've even got an expert that I interviewed so that I can also help other people with that. And I've had some clients of mine saying, "Oh my God, if I hadn't watched your video, I wouldn't have known that something is wrong with what I'm doing." Because we're talking to our, team members, but are we actually communicating? Do they understand the value that we want them to bring to the marketplace, or what it is that they are being paid for? At the end of the day, so many things are happening around us. How are we dealing with the problems in our own lives? And if we can document that, somebody's also going through that. Just think about what makes your clients need you more, and what makes them able to pay you, and create something around that, so that you can actually, while you're going through what you're going through, you help your clients go through that as well. And so many things might be happening from the clients that we already have, because when you're dealing with somebody's health, their wealth, and their relationships, or whatever, modality that you're bringing to the table, once they escape something else, what's the next logical thing that they might want from you? You are well placed in, selling more to people that already know you than trying to get new customers. I'm not going to go into that whole shebang about, why it's actually easier to sell to somebody who already knows, likes, and trusts you than trying to sell to somebody who doesn't know you. All right? So at the end of the day, look at who is able to afford your services. What do they need immediately? And then just reach out and tell them you can help them by actually helping them. And the one other thing is, like I said, I wanted to deliver on the promise, because a lot of us are being told so many things out there. I want you to ignore 90% of everything that any other marketing guru is out there to teach you, and just learn the 10% that I've just been trying to tell you in the last 20 minutes. It's what matters for a business like yours. And if you really sit down and really look at, do I actually know what I'm selling, and am I selling the right thing to the right person? And once you've done that, do you actually know your audience? What are they going through, and how can I be able to know and understand, or how do I speak to them and understand where they are, so that they'll be taken on a journey in order for them to get the results or the transformation that I promised to give them. And then pretty much after that, One thing that I know when I speak to a lot of coaches and consultants is that your marketing strategy is not a good match for the stage of business that you're at. There's what's called business maturity. I'm not saying about you being mature as a business person, but the stage of business that you are. Because we see something that's working with some of the gurus that we are, subscribed to, and we try and implement that within our business, and we fall flat on our face. I'll tell you one story that happened with me when Facebook marketing started. I used to go and do Facebook Lives every single day at 2 p.m. AEST, but I did not have any landing pages. I did not have, any pages that people would actually come back to my website on. I did not have a lead capturing funnel and a nurturing system to then take those people that I'm speaking to every single day on live and start generating leads with them and convert them into customers that pay, stay, and refer. So what I was just doing was just spraying and praying to people and not even giving them an opportunity to work with me. But now I've matured. I've created a lead capturing funnel behind the scenes, and I can turn any prospect that shows up on my way into leads that actually then buy from me when they're ready. So you might actually be marketing out there, but maybe your strategy that you're using is not a good match for the stage of business that you are. So you've probably heard the old adage that, what got you here won't get you there, okay? And the problem with a lot of coaches and consultants is that, or some other, individuals out there, is they've been around for over a decade, and more of them started off completely in a totally different world. Maybe email marketing was not good back then. Maybe funnels were not good back then, but now they're the thing to work. And social media platforms, they've actually, changed. Before, Facebook used to offer really good organic reach. Social media groups didn't, come with a gazillion rules like they have now, and some of them, when you go inside, they feel like you're walking in a dog's breakfast. Social ads were 20 times cheaper than they are today. And people were still tolerant, to when you insistently advertised to them, because they were used to TV ads. I could go on and on. And a lot of these people started off, maybe you're a coach who started ages ago. You started off with a very small budget, or you had a business before, or you had clients before, so you couldn't compare yourself, to what other people were doing. And also the biggest catch is when you're actually trying to sell a strategy that you yourself have probably worked with, with most of the ones, most of the results being what you achieved instead of what you have done for other people. People want to see the results that you've created for others and for yourself, And maybe you start off with group coaching when you're best suited in your business as just a one-to-one coach, so that you really get intimate and understand what your clients need before you start spraying to a lot more people out there. You maybe sit down and watch Tony Robbins and there's 1,500 people on a Zoom call, and then you think that's how you legitimize yourself. You can actually get more done with maybe 2 people or 3 people on a Zoom call, and they will actually all convert. That's 100% conversion rate. Whereas you get 1,500 people and you get maybe one or 2 people converting, that's a waste of everybody else's time. All right? I really want you to start winning at marketing, and I really want you to start utilizing the tools, the systems, the processes that you have created to actually use and leverage the internet as a tool, not for you to work for the internet, for you to work for social media and not get anything in return. So if you'd like to take advantage of, leveraging the internet as a tool to actually generate leads and retain the customers, that you have now, and turn them into people that pay, stay, and refer, I encourage you to schedule a call with me so that we can, just discuss what I was talking about, on this podcast here today. And once you arrive, we'll definitely work hands-on with you and develop a strategic plan, and then deep dive and work through your ideal client clarity. You are aware that it's very important for you to understand and identify your target audience so that you know intricately well what it is that you want your target market to ask you to do for them. And once we've got that, we'll start working on the strategic messaging. What are you saying? When are you saying it? And how are you saying it to the people? And are they the right kind of people with the right kind of pain that we will then, invite to come and work with us? And then eventually we'll look at your consulting offers. Are you actually selling the right things to the right people? We'll look at the fees, the pricing. Does the pricing correspond to the level of business that you are at right now? If not, then we'll actually optimize your business so that it now becomes profitable and you can actually start enjoying working in that business. And pretty much after that, I will just help you set up your marketing engine and lead generation system so you can consistently attract your ideal clients. All right? And at the end of the day, I just really want you to win at this. If you follow any of the advice that I've mentioned in this podcast, it will definitely get you places. But there are quite a few things, that you can actually tweak with what you're already doing. So it may not happen as fast as you would like it to. And in the meantime, if you want, to really win at this, I encourage you to just schedule a call with me, and then we can actually look at exactly what your situation is. And once we know exactly what you need, we'll go to town and get that for you. All right? Just try and get as many people onto a call based on a struggle that you can actually solve for them. That's the easiest way to get customers these days. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, let's continue the conversation in the Live Long Digital community. Become a Live Long Digital community member today. This community is for ambitious entrepreneurs and small business owners with the drive to take control of the future of their businesses and achieve huge success without stress and overwhelm. As you heard, Prosper can help you by teaching you marketing strategies that work. So look no further than the Live Long Digital community of entrepreneurs and highly successful business owners. Join our community today. Find us on www.community.livelongdigital.com.au. Network with other driven entrepreneurs and find the expert guidance you need to take your business to the next level. www.community.livelongdigital.com.au